everybody. Just as I suspected, your camera is a bit out. Okay. Hi everybody, and welcome to Femme Fatale today, inspirational stream on a Sunday. And it's so nice to see everybody again after a while. I know I haven't been on for a while, so yeah, it's so nice to see everybody here. Hello Beth, hello Gentle, and obviously Johanna and Daryl are here. So I thought the stream was quite important because, as you all know, I haven't been streaming for a couple of weeks because exactly what the stream is about, it's something that I've been dealing with. So I decided it was a good idea to stream about it. As you all know, my grandmother passed away a couple of weeks ago, and it's been tough, it's been hard. And as I said, why am I getting a YouTuber's not receiving enough video? Can you all hear me? That's sweet, Beth. You gotta send me what his name is on TikTok. I really want to see that. I don't know if YouTube is battling with all the power outages. How is the video streaming on your side, guys? Is it
seems a bit jerky here and there, but otherwise it seems alright.
But not too bad. Okay, 100%. Joking Atheist asked, is there a difference between sorrow and grief? I believe so, because sorrow and grief can be linked to two different things as far as I'm concerned. Sorrow is when you're sad about something, and grief is physically when you're mourning a loss. So I would say grief is more like if you're mourning a loss of a boyfriend or a husband, or losing a loved one. You know, it doesn't matter which way you lose a loved one. It could be either by death or by breakup, or, you know, something like that. Because sometimes losing a loved one by a breakup or a divorce can be just as hard as losing somebody through death. Eleutheria says it's Vin Diesel 6487 or something like that. Oh, okay. Remember, send me that on WhatsApp, please. So, yeah, guys, I'm not going to lie. The stream is going to be a bit hard for me. I'm going to do my best to not get emotional. Because it's a very difficult subject for me. But I wanted to let you guys know everything that's been going on and everything that you go through, so that it's easier for people to deal with. I think the hardest part to deal with is the acceptance. For me, it was the acceptance of missing out on opportunities. My gran was in her 90s, so throughout this whole COVID thing, I haven't been able to see her for a year now. For obvious reasons, you know, we can't take COVID to her, we can't make her sick. And believe it or not, COVID is not why she died. She died from her heart actually giving up. Her heart was tired. I'd say she was in her 90s. She outlived 3 of her 5 children. So that can't have been easy. Living with that heartbreak on its own, that must have been very, very difficult. I can't imagine bearing a child before myself. That must be really, really difficult. Eleutheria said, you're not actually grieving the person, you're grieving the loss of a relationship. Exactly. And you know, I think I was grieving because I never really knew my gran while I was growing up. Our families were kind of split because it's my mom and my gran and my dad's side. So it was my dad's mother. And while I was growing up, my mom and my dad like split completely. Like our families didn't really have anything to do with each other. And I decided when I turned 21 that I wanted to get to know my dad and get to know my dad's side of the family. When we were small, the one great memory that I have of my gran, and she always made sure we felt special and felt really, really loved. My gran was what you call one of these beautiful souls. She was a beautiful person inside and out. And I'll never forget the one birthday I received this huge box at my door. And I opened it up, and there was the biggest, fluffiest bunny teddy bear. and a whole lot of other stuff in there. But I remember the fluffy bunny, and I still have that fluffy bunny today, believe it or not, crazily enough. And that bunny symbolized to me that my gran loved me, and that teddy became very, very sentimental to me because I never really got the opportunity to know her like I wanted to. You know, we weren't like a lot of families where we had a lot of family a part of our lives. I survived life mostly due to family friends more than actual family. So once I decided to bring family more a part of my life, once I started my own family, because I decided, family is really, really important. And the weird part is that a lot of the values I bring into my own family is a lot of values that came from my grandside. For example, you have to all sit at the table and eat together as a family. That is one thing that I've always believed in. My dad instilled that in me, and my gran instilled that in him. And I think family values is really, really important. So to me, I had only just started getting more involved in my dad's side of the family, in my dad, and then my dad passed away 14 years ago. In my dad's brother, Uncle Alan, which is the most amazing person you can ever meet. And my cousins, because I never really knew my cousins growing up either. So I've gotten more involved in my cousins, my dad's side of the family, and with my gran as well. And I actually took my kids to meet my gran, and Johan met my gran. And she hasn't changed. She hadn't changed. She was still the beautiful person that I remembered her to be from when I was small. And so to me, this grief was more a loss of opportunity, because now I'd only just really started getting part of their lives, and now she's gone. So it was a matter of I'm missing the opportunity to get to know her better, for her to get to know my kids better, and to have her really a part of my life like a grandmother should be from when we're little. So that was hard. That acceptance of that opportunity is gone. That opportunity is no longer there. And sorry. Let me read some comments. Joking Atheist says to Beth, it is possible to grieve someone when you no longer share a relationship with that person. That is true. And Gentle Inflatable says, true, Beth, you grieve the relationship. And I say, and that in my particular case is so true. Yes. Chantal says, I find a way of healing is talking about the person you lost. I daily talk about my child who we lost. Keep the memory of him alive. Talking is healing for me. Well, that's exactly why I decided to do this stream, because the past couple of weeks I decided I became like a hermit, if you want to call it like that. I distanced myself from everybody. I didn't want to talk about it because, and the whole thing for me was I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. I didn't want the I'm sorry's and time heals, and I didn't want those stories. I actually didn't want them. I didn't want anybody to keep saying to me my condolences and I'm sorry, and because I couldn't accept the sorries. And it's not accepting the sorries from their side, it was because I couldn't accept the sorry within me. Because as much as I felt sorry to my gran, I couldn't tell her that in person. And I never got the opportunity to say goodbye. I think that nailed me more than anything, because when she was on her deathbed, obviously the doctors didn't want anybody to go in there because they didn't want to take any germs or viruses or anything into her. And I couldn't speak to her on the phone because she wasn't lucid anymore. She wouldn't have heard me. I think spiritually she would have known I was there, but it's not the same thing, you know. Chantal says she's glad I'm talking about it. Thank you. And she says, yeah, one gets cut full of the sorries. It's true, you do. And the worst part is that the sorries don't make you feel any better. I don't think there is anything that anybody can say. And I don't mean it in a nasty way, but there is nothing that anybody can say to physically make you feel any better. So, and it's almost like the sorries make you feel worse, if that makes sense. And you know that the person's just saying sorry because they don't know what else to say. Because there is nothing you can say to make it feel any better. And to me, I mean, my words were when Johan's colleague's wife passed away on Tuesday last week. She was 6 months pregnant and she died on the way to the hospital. And the baby, the unborn baby as well. And you know, the first thing I said to him is, you know what? I'm not going to say I'm sorry. Because I know what it feels like when people tell me I'm sorry. But what I am going to say is, you know what? If you need anything, if you need a meal, if you need somebody to watch your other children for a few hours to just give you that break, if you need somebody to just talk to, or somewhere where you can just come, and even if you want to sit outside and be on your own, where you can just find some peace, then you know what? I'm that person. We are that people. If you want to come here and you want to just be, you can do so. You know, I wanted to make sure I could give him that escape. And it almost felt like giving him an escape that I couldn't get because I still had to go to work every day. I still had to be at home with my kids every day. And in the evenings, you know, I go to bed with Johan, so we all go to bed together. So it's like you don't get that escape. You don't get that time to just sit and just be on your own. And as I said in my write-up, there is no right or wrong way to grieve. Everybody grieves in different ways. Some people like to blurt it out and talk about it, and some people just like to hold it in. But I can tell you what really, really helped me, and I did it last week Saturday. Everybody had gone to bed, and I just sat here for about 4 hours, and I just cried. I just cried and I cried and I cried. Sometimes you just need that release. You just need to let go, if that makes sense. Alicia says to me and to Chantal, unless you've been through or dealt with death, when you speak of death, you need people. But people judge. They do, unfortunately. Life happens, etc. Isn't how you deal with death, each person to themselves. Exactly. As I say, there's no right or wrong way to deal with death. Everybody needs to find what makes them feel better. And to be honest with you, I don't believe in this whole thing of time heals. It doesn't. Guys, it doesn't. My dad's been gone 14 years. It doesn't feel any easier. It doesn't feel any better. So this whole concept of time heals, sorry, it doesn't, guys. It actually doesn't. I think the difference is that it's not that the time is healing you. I think it's over time you get used to feeling the pain. It's like cutting yourself, okay, and having an open wound. There's first day or two, it's like really sore. You like really, really battle with that wound. But as time goes on, yes, even though the wound is healing, but let's not go there, but if that wound stayed there forever, you would stop thinking about the pain as much. You get used to feeling the pain. And I think that is the only thing that time does. The joking atheist says the death of your gran is not final while you draw breath, because it's up to you to breathe life into the memory of her and allow her chapter to survive in the book of Laura. That is so true. It is so, so true. And you know, and I think my other thing is I feel guilty. I feel guilty that I didn't contact her enough. I feel guilty that I didn't make more of an effort to go and see her. And this is the one thing that I can say to all of you right now. Make time to see the people that you love. Make time to make peace with your family. Take the time to heal. Take the time to be with the people that you care about. Don't think, oh, I really want to get back together with this person. And I don't mean get back together like a boyfriend, girlfriend. I mean get back together family wise. Don't take the time to do it. Don't, well, oh, I'm so busy at work and I'm so busy with life and life doesn't stop and all of this. You know what? Make that phone call and make that time. There is no better time than the present. Don't sit in a situation like I am right now where I feel guilty. Okay, and maybe that's where I'm finding it difficult to have the acceptance part because of my guilt feeling. I feel guilty that I didn't take the time to get to know her as well as I should have. Get to know. I mean, the first thing she said to me when we were leaving, Johanna had already walked to the car with the kids, and she stopped me and she said, "This man is a keeper." She said he's so handsome, and he's such a nice guy. She said to me, "He's such a keeper," and I'll never forget that. That's it. But yeah, we have to keep the memories alive, and we've got to make time for the people that we love. Because this whole thing where you see, and I was actually talking about it with somebody the other day, when you see families or couples go to restaurants and they're all sitting like this on their cell phones. Guys, make time with your family. Make time with your family where your phone is put off or on silent. Your phone has an amazing feature called Do Not Disturb. And what you can do on that feature is you can actually have it set that if specific people phone you, if it's an emergency or whatever, your phone will ring. If it's anybody else, it won't ring. It'll ring, but you won't see or hear it. Okay? Make use of these features that we have in technology. Because not enough of us every single day sit and take the time to get to know each other better. And the funny thing is my gran had this thing, okay, when you're setting a table for dinner, you have to have your bread plates and your bread knife. Doesn't matter if you're eating bread with your dinner or not. You had your bread plates and your bread knife, okay, and your dessert spoon. Whether you had dessert with your dinner or not, you must have your bread plates and you must have your bread knife and you must have your dessert spoon. Okay? And it's for a reason, guys. And that reason is, even if you're not going to use it, make sure you have it a part of your life. Even if it may not seem important at that moment in time. At the end of the day, it's important. Okay, there's always things behind things. Alicia says life happens. Guilt is going to kill you. You are too precious to break yourself. I understand what you're saying. That's the thing is, and that's why I say, don't put yourself in the position where you feel guilty. Make sure that you take the opportunities and you take the times now to do what you need to do what you want to do, because it's not going to help you later on. Now my stream is healthy. Okay, well, that's better. It's not going to help you when it's too late. And it being too late can take 2 seconds. I could walk out of this door and drop down of a heart attack, or I could climb in my car in the morning to drive to work and have a serious car accident and I could die. So make sure when you leave your homes in the morning, make sure you tell your family, your kids, and whoever else is in your household that you love them. Make sure that they know every single day how much you appreciate them and how much you love them. Okay? Life is too short. Joking Atheist says, perhaps it's more appropriate to say that the pain goes away, but the scars remain. My dad passed in 2000, and I don't feel pain anymore, but his memory remains. Those memories have power for me. Speaking of that, the one thing that I can say is I know whenever my dad is around me, I smell his cologne straight away. It sounds weird and it probably sounds a bit freaky, but whenever my dad is around, like, I can smell him. I can smell that he's there, and I know that he's there. And if I'm alone, then I will actually sit and I will talk to him and I'll tell him, listen, Dad, geez, this has been bothering me and I'm battling with this, and I love you and I miss you. But yeah, it's I don't know. I suppose you can say the pain goes away, but the scars remain. That is probably a better way of seeing it. But I think it's more a matter, to me, it's more a matter of you get used to the pain. You don't feel it as much anymore because you are used to it, Johan says, live for today, tomorrow is not promised. None of us know when and where that line is drawn. When that line is reached, no one will cross over it for even 1 extra second to do this or that. That's true. You know what? God has if you believe in God, sorry, I do, so I do mention him a lot in my streams. I apologize if you are somebody who's not Christian or doesn't believe in God. But I believe that our life is set out for us. And when it's your day or when it's your time, it's going to happen. Whether you try and prevent it or doesn't matter what you do, when it's your day, it's your day. When it's your second, when your seconds are up, your seconds are up. So it doesn't help. And the other thing is, if, for example, you look at what do you call those things? A sand meter? A timer?
Hourglass.
An hourglass, okay? So if you look at an hourglass and you turn it upside down and you've got sand running on the bottom and you've got sand on the top, if you look at the sand at the bottom as what's gone past in our lives and the sand in the top is what's still going to happen, it's not going to help you if you keep looking back at the sand at the bottom and saying, oh, but I could have done that better, or I should have done that, or I should have been there, or I should have... Don't. Guys, stop looking backwards. The only way we can move forward in life is if we start looking forward. And live today for today. And yes, we're going to have bad days. And it is okay to not always be okay. But what matters is what you do after that. So if today you're having one of those days and you don't feel like getting out of bed, then you know what? Stay in bed. Have your day. Have your time to just reflect, to do whatever you need to do so that tomorrow morning you can wake up and you can get out of bed and you can make your bed and you can make your day. Okay? Stop looking back at the past. Stop looking backwards. You're not going that way. You're going forward. And funny enough, a weird thing which I always say to my son, because he has this really, really bad habit of when he's walking forward, he's looking backwards. And I always say to him, look where you're walking. Because what's going to happen if you're not looking forward when you are walking? You're going to fall, or you're going to walk into something, and you're going to hurt yourself. And life is the same. So if you're walking forward and you're looking backwards, guess what's going to happen? You're going to fall. Okay? So we need to start looking forward, and we need to start appreciating the opportunities of each day. Joking Atheist says, Romans 6 verse 5, for if we have been united with him in a death like his, we will certainly also be united with him in a resurrection like his. What do you think is being taught here? Sure. I don't know, my mind is... I'm not going to lie to anybody right now, but I'm slightly high. No, not from any form of recreational drugs.
Liar.
I wish. um, I have actually taken all of this, and I'm not ashamed to say it, because I'm taking the steps to feel better and to do better, and I'm not ashamed to say this. I have been battling so badly with all of this to the point where I've actually had such bad anxiety where I couldn't breathe. And that's why I couldn't stream, I couldn't face people, I couldn't even sit and chat with people on Ronaldo's stream, because I physically couldn't face people. Um, I couldn't handle chatting with people. I couldn't handle dealing with people. And Friday got to a point where it was really, really bad. I ended up in the bathroom at work bawling my eyes out. And I decided on Friday that on Saturday I'm going to the doctor and I'm getting this sorted out, because I must be honest, I've had the whole anxiety and high heart rate thing for a few years and I've never done anything about it. And since my grand passed away, it just increased tenfold. And that's why I just felt like I couldn't deal at that point. I couldn't deal with more than what I felt like I really had to deal with. And so I decided to go to the doctor, and actually when I phoned the doctor's rooms and they said to me, "Who would you like to book with?" And I said, "You know what? I don't care." I said, as long as you put me with a doctor who will listen, who will actually take the time to listen to what I have to say, so that they know how best to treat me. And they did. I actually ended up with a phenomenal doctor who we sat down and we had a really, really good conversation. I almost burst into tears a couple of times in the consultation, because that's how bad I've gotten, to the point where I'd literally talk about certain things and I just burst into tears. I was having a conversation with Chantal and Beth and Toten last night, and I ended up bawling my eyes out. And that is the point where I got to, and yeah, I decided enough's enough. I'm not this person. This is not me. I am a positive person and I am a strong person. And I'm not going to let this stuff get to me. And that's why I decided to do this stream, because I thought, you know what? I'm going to talk to people for a change. I'm going to let it out. I'm going to bleh, you know. And you know what? If people enjoy it, and if I can help somebody in this, then so be it. And hopefully I do, because, you know, you got to do what you need to do to make yourself better, to help yourself take that one step forward every single day. And that's one thing we have to remember. You don't need to take 10 steps a day, people. You don't have to. As long as you are taking one step forward. Just one. Just one step, guys. Okay? It means you're going somewhere. It means you're getting somewhere. It means that you're strong and you have the chance to better your life, because you are helping yourself get to that point. Okay? I'm going to read some comments because I've neglected them for a couple of minutes. Alicia said, "Yes, put the side plates on the table. Damn it, girl, you are such a motivator." I want to see the side plates, guys. Alicia also says, "I smell my dad's cigarettes in his room. 1992. Till now, I smell it. My husband also experienced it many times. Yes, with you, God and spirits are real. They are very real." Jan says, "Our eyes are in front of our heads. That's why we move forward. What is behind is over and done with. Nothing." Go away, Michi. Nothing can change the past. Learn from it and change the future. Exactly. And that is the only thing that we can change, and that we need to remember, is we can only change the future. We can't change the past. It's done. It is what it is. We have to move forward from it. Gentle says, we hear footsteps at night while everyone is asleep. I love hearing it. Yeah. And Gentle says, anxiety orders are not great. Getting help is great. Also, having a support system is even better. And I must be glad I have had some support, which is it's been great. Gentle said, your gran pulled that poster down on trivia. Probably, hey? It wouldn't surprise me. Johan said, I lost my brother back in 99. I see him everywhere. I hear his voice sometimes. I think that's, with these past few comments that I've read, and I think it's really, really important to remember that even once our loved ones leave us, they're not totally gone. Yes, we have our memories, like Joking Atheist says. We also have their spirit. And a lot of the times that people that pass over, they are still around us. They're watching us. They're guiding us. They become our angels. And that is a very, very important thing to remember. So even if you don't smell them, hear them, or feel their presence, they're there. I can promise you now that they're there. So if you're at that point where you don't want to talk to someone physical, if you sit in a room alone and you start talking to your dad, your brother, your grand, or someone that you really miss, they will hear you. They will hear you. Okay? Gentle says, love talking to you, Laura. You always make me smile. I hope so. And that's why I was a bit anxious about doing this specific stream, because my whole streaming thing is about being motivating and empowering and encouraging. And I didn't want the stream to be a downer, if you know what I mean. And I hope it's not coming across as a downer. I really hope so. Because I wouldn't want that. I really wouldn't. So hopefully we can learn how to deal with things better, like something like grief. Gentle says, said to Johan, that's amazing. Joking Atheist said, my thoughts on the quote, it's telling you to realize that death is just another one of nature's gifts given upon you. I agree. Find the gift of life and death, and you shall always live in the splendor of life. That actually, for some unknown reason, it reminded me of something. At every single one of my family lines on my dad's side, at any one of the funerals, they have a specific song that they sing, which obviously it better be sung at my funeral, just by the way, I'm just saying. Or my celebration of life. For my gran, we didn't have a funeral, actually. We had a celebration of life. And one of the songs, that was one of my gran's favorite songs, and we sang the song at my dad's funeral. We sang the song at my granddad's funeral. We sang the song at my Auntie Anne's funeral last year. Well, not last year, it was the year before, August. And you're not going to believe what this song is. The song is This Little Light of Mine. And I don't know if you guys remember it from, if any of you guys went to Bible studies or youth or something like that when you were younger. But my gran's favorite song was This Little Light of Mine. I don't know if you guys remember it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. That, and that to me is the essence of my gran. That is just the essence of daily life. And I think if we can wake up every single day and we can think to ourselves, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine every day. This little light of mine. And I think by lights they mean your heart, God, your spirit. Okay? We need to get up every day and we need to shine. Okay? Gentle says, teach your children about passing on. Kids can be ugly. They said to my son, he has a ghost in his house. He said, no, it's his angel. That is very true. Very, very true. Guys, be honest with your children. I don't believe in ever lying to your kids about death or anything else. Because sometimes if you protect your children too much, we're not preparing them for life. And we need to have them prepared. You can't have them living in a bubble wrap bubble, because otherwise when they're adults, they're not going to be able to deal with it. Johan said to Joking Atheists, when we learn and understand death, we will be able to understand what it means to live. I completely agree with you there. Alicia said, when I'm upset, I get goosebumps. I feel my mother or father touching me, as they always said, Bookie, it's going to be okay. And I think that's very important, as we've got to remember, even when we're having one of our days where we're not okay, that, yes, we're having our moment where we're not okay. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with not being okay. I haven't been okay for 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks. Like, and it's so not me. I'm not that person. And I've had a few deaths that I've had to deal with. And the weirdest thing is that the passing of my gran affected me more than a lot of deaths I've had to deal with lately. For some unknown reason, that broke me, like, completely. But as far as I know, broken crayons still color the same, okay? So, so this is my release. This is my saying it's okay to not be okay. The most important part is, after you're not okay, what do you do after that? Do you stand up and say, I'm going to fight, I'm going to be strong, I'm going to be courageous, and I'm going to live each day like it is my last? I heard, like, those questions I was asking Joe the other day, those are questions that's been going through my head. And I want you guys to ask yourself, I know we're running out of time because Ronaldo's going to start just now. I want you guys to ask yourselves this question. If you have 60 seconds left to live, will you have any regrets? What would you change if you had 60 seconds left to live? Okay? And the other question I want you to ask yourselves, if everybody in the world was blind, how would they see you? How would they see who you are? Because then, let's be honest, beauty, hair, makeup, what you're wearing, none of that would matter. None of that's important anyway. But if nobody could see that, how would they see you? What kind of person would they perceive you to be? I think that's an extremely important question. And I think it's something that we need to strive towards, to the point where we feel that people are seeing us the way that we want them to see us, that we perceived in the way we want to be seen. Because it doesn't help you look in the mirror and you think to yourself, sure, maybe people would see me as an arrogant prick. You don't want to be seen that way, okay? So we need to think about it. We need to think about, if everybody in the world was blind, how would they view you? What kind of person would they see you to be? Okay? Gentle saying she loves that song. Alicia says, yes, Sunday school, this little light of mine, awesomeness. Yeah, it's the most awesome song, really. Joking Atheist says, the free and unmerited favor of God is manifested in the salvation of sinners and the bestowal of blessings, aka grace. Definitely. Most definitely. Joking Atheist also says, what is the importance of closure to you when experiencing the death of a loved one, and what do you need to achieve it? I think that's different for everybody, to be honest with you. Closure for me, if I'm looking at a death of somebody else, would be the acceptance. that would be my closure. To physically accept the fact that they're gone, to accept that I'm not going to have those opportunities anymore, to accept the fact that even though she's not here in body, she's here in spirit. And when I talk to her in spirit, I might not get a response. That is I think accepting all of that. That for me would be my closure. And yes, after 2 weeks of not being myself and pretty much being on the verge of falling apart, I think the fact that I've gotten to this point that I'm at today, and I'm actually I'm quite proud of myself for doing this stream. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, I just lost my whole train of thought. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'll be okay. And I think that is something that I've realized. Yes, it's hard, but I will be okay. I will get through this. Why? Because number one, I'm a woman, which that may not mean a lot to everybody, but I'm strong. And I have a support team. I have the most amazing friends. And I am extremely blessed. Extremely blessed. And I'm very, very lucky to be as blessed as I am. Alicia says, forgive my one rival, they would see me as loud and crazy. You know what, to be honest with you, stop worrying about how other people think of you. In a way, I'm saying, yeah, how would blind people perceive you? But that is to improve yourself. But you need to improve yourself in a way where you don't care what other people think. If you get what I'm saying. If that person thinks, oh, well, I've got big teeth, I don't care. You know what, at the end of the day, I was created by God, and I was created in His likeness, and I was created to Him. I'm beautiful. And that's all that matters. And I think if everybody here can look in the mirror and actually physically tell themselves, I love you, I think that would make a huge difference in a lot of people's lives. Joking Atheist says, it looks like you know your own consolation in your own answer. Yeah. Okay, guys, but it's 3 minutes past 8. I'm sure Ronaldo has started already. So unless anybody wants to say anything, I'm going to end it here. I think we've gotten some points across, and I think I'm about this far from the end of my braveness. so I think let's end it here, and let's have a fantastic Monday, guys. Remember, tomorrow's another opportunity. We're going to bed tonight, and we're waking up tomorrow to, whether it's sunshine or rain, it was created by God for us. So let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy every second of every day, and let's make sure that we use all the opportunities that we have in our lives. A joking atheist says, sorry for your loss. Thank you. I'm going to take that sincerely. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, guys, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. There's only a couple of hours left until most of you go to bed. I'll also be going to bed just now. I'll be taking my crazy medication and I'll be going to bed. Joking Atheist says, thank you for turning your loss into our gain. Well, I hope it's helped somebody. It's been hard for me, but I hope at the end of the day something good has come out of it, because this is why I do my streams, because I want to help people. And if I can help people, and if I can bring anybody some more closure, or help somebody get closure, or support somebody. And guys, please just let me say that if you are going through something and you need somebody to talk to, I am here. The link for my Telegram group is, sorry, I feel like I've got a moth in my hair. There's so many machis here. The link for my Telegram group is in the description below. So if you join the Telegram group, you'll find an entire group of people who are willing to support you and to be there for you without question. I really have the most amazing group on Telegram, filled with the most amazing supportive people. So if you need somebody, join the Telegram group, guys. We're all there for you. And just by the way, I actually started a TikTok account. So if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, my name on TikTok is in the description below as well. Johan says, thanks all. Hope you all have a fantabulous week. Live for the moment, count your blessings, love endlessly, laugh out loud, and stand tall, as we all are awesome. That is so true. And the one thing I know for sure is you are all awesome. You are all amazing. You are all special. And you are all an absolute blessing. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great week. Don't forget to wake up tomorrow and tell yourself that you're awesome, and have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy. Keep well. Bye.